additional element to decrease tension, and we hope that no missiles are launched from Lebanon by Hezbollah against Israel. In the document, we also refer to Hezbollah because we ask Iran not to supply weapons to this political and military organization which is attacking Israel. GR Rai. My first love. Minister, this interplay of action, counteraction, don't you think this might initiate a new escalation, a slow-burning escalation? How can we try and switch the fire off? We are doing this. The text of the final document we approved, as I said and I read, is very, very clear. We are committed, and we will commit towards escalation. So a political and diplomatic role, an active role, will be played by all G7 countries, which will work in favor of de-escalation in the area of the Middle East. So there is a political commitment standing. There hasn't been a technical G7. We haven't had a G7 in which we merely examined the international situation. This was a G7 in which we reiterated cohesion among all the countries belonging to the organization. And above all, we have committed to acting together, strengthening cooperation, as I said, on a daily basis, not just the political and strategic cooperation, but cooperation on a daily basis to exchange information and decide over shared or common actions. We will do our utmost so that our political line, I'm not saying we hope to, but we will do everything possible so that this becomes actions. Agencia Nova. Hello, Minister. I would like to move away geographically, and I'd like to go to the Indo-Pacific, where there are strong tensions, and Italy has launched some messages in terms of its commitment, and President Meloni announced some joint exercises, military exercises with Japan. So from this G7, do we have some sign of deterrence towards China? We would like to have a situation of peace, free circulation of goods, and the presence of our military navy pursues this aim. We'd like to give a sign towards the free circulation of goods. We work to defend the status quo in the Indo-Pacific area. And we hope that a de-escalation will take place there too. We are committed to being present, also through a positive relationship with India, which is a very important country for us, and having a continuing dialogue with China, of course. Last week, a strategic cooperation meeting was had, which was a cooperation agreement that was launched in 2004, and we asked them to cooperate in terms of safeguarding maritime shipping in the Suez and Red Sea area, and because some Chinese ships were attacked as well. And in this perspective, active involvement was announced on the part of China, and I hope that this will be the prerequisite for further positive developments. The President of the Republic will go to visit China. China is our competitor, but a competitor with which we would like to share good relations to guarantee peace. So we will continue to cultivate relations with Australia, Philippines, New Zealand, and Japan. As you know, there is a defense industry agreement to build a military craft between Italy, Japan, and the UK. So I believe that relations with Japan have a pivotal role to play. I spoke over dinner about this with the Foreign Affairs Minister of Japan. And once again, we would like to further strengthen our relations with this country to guarantee stability in the Indo-Pacific area. In the document, you will find that we reiterate concerns about what North Korea is doing, and we ask China, the document is a reference, not to supply double-use material to the Russian Federation. This is a clear message. It is not weapons, but it is dual-use material. And once again, this is a very clear and evident message because China can do much to stop the war of Russia against Ukraine. So time is running out. There's only two questions left. Bloomberg. Hello, Minister. Please, can you help us understand what happened specifically this morning? Iran was attacked by drones. Against what type of installation? And there's something else I'd like to ask you. We have read there are different versions of diplomatic action to actually affect the situation. What did Italy suggest, or what was its line? Because apparently you were successful. Well, we based ourselves on common sense. From the very day I was the first minister to get to the places where the 7th of October tragedy had taken place. From the very beginning, as the Minister of Foreign Affairs of a friendly country, I asked Israel to have and to wage a proportionate reaction to the attack suffered. But over the last months, we always expressed words of closeness to Israel, but we also asked Israel to be cautious. We spoke of what's been happening in Palestine, and of course we are amongst the countries calling for ceasefire. It is no accident that we call for no attack to be made against Rafah. And in Rome, when the Minister Katz of Israel came to we actually supported the Food for Gaza project, and we also asked that a representative of Israel to be involved in this project, so that Israel knows that this food aid may reach the area in cooperation with FAO, Red Crescent, Red Cross, and all our civil organizations, so that those goods may actually get to the people who need them rather than in the hands of Hamas. So once again, through the new entry points in the north of Gaza, this may take place. So as friends of the country, we absolutely defend the security of Israel. We have reiterated this, but we do call for de-escalation. So as the G7, when friendly countries launch a message, considerations must then follow on the part of Israel. Hopefully it is a positive consideration. Our document is clear. We are friends. We condemn the attack suffered by Israel, but also a call for de-escalation on both sides. Last, Master Sabene, TG2. Hello, Minister. You spoke of the message of the political role held by the G7. I ask myself, couldn't the G7 be an interlocutor to help sit Iran, how absurd may it be, Iran and Israel sit around a table, a negotiation table? Do you think this is impossible as a scenario? Number one, What about de-escalation? Well, it is unlikely for Israel and Iran to sit around the same table in the near future. But what matters today, as I say, is de-escalation. So this phase to be closed, and we can live and start and open a different season, a different period, by solving the problem in Gaza, by reducing aggressiveness both on the part of Houthis and Hezbollah, as we know, are supplied by Iran. And when we speak of common sense and initiatives towards de-escalation, we are referring to Iran, and we're asking Iran to work towards de-escalation. Otherwise, it looks like the responsibility is that of Israel. It is Iran who first attacked massively Israel. Not all G7 countries have diplomatic relationship with Iran. We do, and we will convey messages, as I did. Because hours before the attack, I talked with the Iranian Minister of Foreign Affairs, and once again, the message was clear, a reiteration of our political stance and our preference for de-escalation. Even when you don't share opinions, diplomatic efforts must continue if the aim is peace without giving ground. But dialogue does not mean giving up on our positions, but it means that we may try and convince the interlocutor who may have a different opinion to undertake less violent attitudes. And in our opinion, all the countries of the G7 wish to arrive towards a de-escalation, which must open a new season of peace. Thank you. Thank you.
Buongiorno, benvenuti a Millennium Live, lo spazio in diretta sui social e sul fattoquotidiano.it dove raccontiamo i contenuti